Good afternoon, family and friends. My name is Bwalya and I'm here today representing the Maskoff Foundation. This is a foundation that deals with mental health, and I'm here to discuss a really important topic. The topic I'm discussing today is bullying. This topic is very dear to my heart, just because I feel like bullying is often overlooked and underestimated. The effects of it are often underestimated. So I'll start off by defining bullying. So according to the Center for Disease Control, bullying is a form of youth violence toward a victim involving unwanted aggressive behavior from the bully. At the heart of bullying is usually a power imbalance. Bullying can be repeated over periods of time, resulting in physical, psychological, social, or educational harm. There's many forms of bullying, and oftentimes when we picture a bully, everyone, we have that image in our head from cartoons of this super big buff guy or girl and, intimidating, all the little people in the class or whatever it may be. But we fail to realize that bullying comes in so many different forms, and it's not always somebody who's in a position of power or somebody who's in a position of advantage in terms of size. So I'm just going to go through 5 types of bullying and explain each of them a little bit. So the first type of bullying I'm going to talk about is physical intimidation. So physical intimidation, this involves either hitting, so anything that has to do with a physical act. So hitting, spitting, slapping, it's something as small as just, a light kick. All that can be defined as bullying. And this usually happens in either a school setup or even in a family setup. But because you see this person as, it's my family member, it's my auntie, my uncle, my cousin, my brother, it's not bullying, but oftentimes it is. Social exclusion is another type of bullying. So social exclusion, this includes, leaving somebody out. Maybe you're a group of friends and you always just want to hang out with certain people in that group and often don't invite other people in the group. So that's social exclusion. So in that sense, you're now making one person or a group of people feel left out, feel less important, feel like they're not in on the secret or in on the discussion. Sometimes there can be 5 people sitting at a table and literally turn away just from their body language and exclude other people from the conversation or from the discussion, or even just speaking over somebody. Somebody's trying to air their view or point of view, and somebody else is continuously speaking over them. In that example, then the person who's constantly speaking over the others is a bully, because that is a form of bullying. And then there's, of course, threats and peer pressure. Peer pressure, I think, is something that a lot of us can relate to. So whether it's in a social setup where it's having your first drink. Many of us, I'll be the first to say, and I'll be honest to say, I did have my first drink way sooner than I probably should have. But it all comes down to peer pressure. You're in a group where maybe somebody else drinks freely in their home, and then they invite you over, or you go out for a party. And next thing you're being, peer pressured into having your first drink. And, not to say that person is a bad person, but that's an example of unconscious bullying. So, you're pressured into it, maybe even when it comes to the opposite sex, so either a man or a woman. And you're pressured into doing things that you're not ready to do, doing things that you don't want to do. I'm not going to go too deep into that because then it'll be a whole other topic, but just little things like that. I remember even my first dance with a boy, and you're kind of pressured into it. You're not ready to, and you want to, you're excited about it, but it does come back to peer pressure and bullying, which is a group of friends who are maybe a little bit more advanced than you, and they just like, no, do it, Bwalya, you can do it, just go ahead and do it. That is a form of bullying. Next, I will go to spreading rumors, lies about the victim. So this is another thing that has become so prevalent, and especially with this generation, with the younger generation now. There's so many rumors, lies. I've had so many people come to me literally in tears saying they don't know what to do because pictures have been leaked, stories have been misconstrued, And we see that every day, and that ties in with cyberbullying, especially with this day and age of social media. The bullying is a lot more vicious now because people sit behind their computers and they relentlessly tear other people apart, and it's so unfortunate. And what they don't realize, or maybe they even do realize, is that it takes such a toll on someone's mental health, and which is the main reason of today's topic, because I want to tie in bullying in relation to mental health. So I'll start with how to deal with, I'll start with negative effects of bullying in relation to mental health. Self-esteem, first and foremost. Once you're a victim of bullying, your self-esteem it's the first thing to take a hit. You stop to feel smart, you stop to feel beautiful, you stop to feel worthy, because someone is constantly in your ear saying all these negative things to you, making you feel less important, making you feel